The prayer is a karma. It comes from my will, which enjoys total freedom. Only in prayer I can say, I can pray, I need not pray. Kartum, akartum, anyatava kartum. I can do, I need not do, I can do it differently. So this freedom is not always there in other actions. That is the reason why the prayer is an exercise to our free will. I exercise my free will. And prayer being an action directly towards Ishvara, in the sense I am doing an action to invoke the Adrishtam. And this action is, as I told you, is manifold. Anyatava kartum shakyam. It can be done in many ways. That's why in our culture, we accommodate naturally different forms of prayer. We have kayikam karma, vachikam karma, manasam karma, trividam karma. So I can do a ritual prayer. This is our culture. It's born of our understanding of Ishvara. It's complete understanding. There is no blemish in that knowledge of Ishvara. Inasmuch as there is no element of belief. There is just understanding. All that is here is a manifestation of Ishvara. Any other proposition about Ishvara is something to be questioned, understood, and re-understood. Really speaking, if somebody says little differently, that's because it's not understood. The more they inquire, then Ishvara will be understood only in this manner. Otherwise, you can't assimilate any statement of Ishvara. Human being has reason. Reason gives you the human dignity. And that reason should be respected by everybody. Whoever addresses me should respect my reason. And therefore, any statement has to be reasonable. I am ready to accept something beyond my reason. I can say it is beyond reason, I am not interested in it. I don't have a dispute if it is beyond reason, but not against reason. If somebody says, Bhagavan upar hai, it's against reason. There is no upar. Upar is in space. And space is also a part of Jagat. And therefore, who created Jagat will be a problem. And therefore here, because of our understanding of Ishvara, as one who is manifest in the form of every form, all forms are of Ishvara, then I can invoke Ishvara in a form. This is the most adrishta producing karma. You lose out if you cannot do this karma ritual. Lose out because of wrong understanding of Ishvara. We have a tendency to say it's a ritual after all. Ritual after all. English word ritual, don't use that word. It is karma after all. Hey, everything you do is karma. How can you say it is karma after all? Anything you do is karma. There is no karma after all. It is what is done deliberately is karma. Kayikam karma. I can perform a ritual prayer, invoking Ishvara in a form. Every form is Ishvara. Therefore, I can invoke Ishvara in a form. Think of this. If every form is Ishvara, why should I have a special form? But any given one form doesn't include every other form. Any given one form will leave out every other form. Therefore, it is not total Ishvara. You have to invoke in a given form the entire form of Ishvara. Understand this. Like even if somebody has to invoke my attention, draw my attention, and somebody touches my little finger, he is not invoking my little finger. The intention, the bhavana is to invoke the whole Swami. The whole Swami is invoked. Correct? But when the person touches a particular part of my body, then his intention is to draw my attention. Then I am invoked. Therefore, in any one given natural form, like even space, I can invoke the total. Vayu, I can invoke the total. Vayu means air, wind. Because everything is Ishvara. As I told you, there are not many gods. I can invoke Ishvara as Vayu. Or in Vayu, I can invoke the total. I can invoke Ishvara as Agni, fire. Or I can invoke in Agni, the total Ishvara. I can invoke Ishvara as water, Varuna. or in Varuna, in water, I can invoke the total Ishvara. I can invoke Ishvara as earth, or on this earth itself, the earth itself, I can look upon it as Ishvara. Understand this. If I can create an altar, then that altar may be just a piece of wood. That altar may be a lump of turmeric powder. In Maharashtra, they will put one supari nut. This areca nut. Then invoke Ishvara there, Ganapati there. So we are not worshipping the areca nut. We are invoking Ishvara in a given aspect as the one who removes obstacles. And that's where Vigna, Vinayaka comes. It's in our culture. Therefore, I am just giving you how these various forms, you need to understand Indian culture to understand, to be understood, you need to understand this. And therefore, nobody worships an altar, an idol. There is no idol worship at all. People who talk about idol worship, they are talking idle. They are idle. It's all idle talk. Nobody worships an idol. You are attacking idol worship, who nobody does it. One worships Ishvara. Nobody says, Idole Namaha. And therefore, we invoke Ishvara in certain special forms. In Rama, in Krishna, in different forms, because they all have different associations. In the Indian psyche, Rama is Ishvara, Krishna is Ishvara. To create that connection, it's not possible. It takes centuries. The connection between a form and a concept. Here it is a vision. It is Ishvara. And this possibility being there, I have Kayikam Karma prayer. It's our culture. First I start with my own body. When I bathe, I think of Ganga, Yamuna. These are all our rivers. Godavari, Krishna. Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri. They are our rivers. They nourished our culture. And the banks of these rivers, people lived and in their culture got nourished. Not only these rivers fed us, they brought our culture into being. They nurtured our culture, nourished our culture. This great spiritual culture. Therefore, bhavana, it's all bhavana. When everything is Ishvara, all that you require, bhavana. I told you, if you want to invoke the attention of somebody, you need not give a total massage of the person. You pull his finger, you draw his attention. But the intention is what counts. Bhavana. Gange cha Yamune chaiva, Godavari Saraswati, Narmada Sindhu Kaveri, Asmin Jale Sannidhim Kuru. Kuru means do. Sannidhim means your presence. Asmin Jale, in this water. And the water is in a bucket. In this bucket of water, oh, all these rivers, please make your presence. I take a bath. It's a ritual. You with the bhavana, you convert that into a puja to the indwelling spirit, that is Ishvara. And the body becomes a temple, dehaha, devalayaha. The body becomes a temple. The indweller is Ishvara. You invoke Ishvara in yourself. Then you do puja. Then afterwards vastram. The two proper vastram. Not the same old clothes. Rakha hai again. Or yesterday's what was kept there and you bring it, and people will think that you are wearing some new clothes. But I generally keep track of this. So you wear your clothes from the line because it's puja. That is called achara. Therefore, my mother won't let me touch her. Why? Because she has to do puja. Herself has done puja to herself. There is some beauty in this. We need to understand our culture. It is all culture. Our way of living is what our culture is. We need to understand this. Don't dump it as religion. It's wrong. Understanding is all, the whole of it you have to absorb, understand. If there are things that you don't understand, we should know these things need to be understood, that's all. And therefore, the Vastram puja, Abharanam puja, any Abharanam. These women, Indian women wear gold and they are not 14 KT. They are ornaments, but they are not purely ornaments, they are offering. They are an offering to, again, to the goddess. God means there is goddess too. Therefore, it is 24 or 22, not this 14 KT. We don't want to reduce Lakshmi to 14 KT. There is some truth in that. It is ritual. Abharanam Then you have chandanam, kunkumam. It is also an offering. Whole puja. It's a ritual. Then afterwards, to the altar you do puja. You make yourself qualify. You offer a puja. It is a ritual prayer. Again, the same thing you do there. The place, the altar of worship is made clean. Then afterwards, the whole elaborate, the series of steps one follows, or in a simple form, flowers, etc., you offer. This is called pujanam, kayikam. In this kayika puja, naturally effort is involved, materials involved, preparation is involved, and it can be very elaborate also. With fire altar, can be elaborate. It can be, there are some rituals which imply different people, hundreds of people, priests involved. Just for us to understand all that is there in our culture. This kayikam karma is a prayer in which limbs involved, altars involved, hands involved, walk, organ of speech involved, of course, your heart involved, mind involved, you are involved totally. So this is kayikam. Now from this we can understand the vachikam karma is only mind and walk. Your heart involved, mind involved, walk involved, speech, organ of speech involved. Bas. So that is also prayer, oral prayer. In producing adrishta, kayikam karma is more efficacious. And in producing certain drishtapalam, vachikam karma, adrishtam also it produces less than what kayikam karma does. Then the same thing can be done mentally. That is what is called meditation. So you relate yourself to Ishvara mentally by doing the same ritual of worship, karma. You can do it mentally. It becomes meditation. Or by a chant or something, you relate yourself to Ishvara. This is manasam karma, speech not involved. And therefore, this threefold prayer can produce both adrishtam and drishtapalam. We will see further when we meet again. Thank you.